Welcome to My Favorite Bitch, where we talk openly about the good, the bad, and the oh my fucking god ugly of raising dogs, and sometimes other non-canine pets, including the human ones. We might talk about poop, and we might swear, so fair warning. Thanks for joining the pack. Now let's get this ball rolling. For a game of fetch, of course. Hey everybody, welcome to My Favorite Bitch. This is the podcast where we share honest tales about the good, the bad, and the she got me again, fucking got me again, ugly of raising dogs. Yep, she got me again, my dog. Fool me 19 times, Moxie. I'm going to talk about that a little bit today. This is going to be one of those episodes not for the sensitive stomached folks. So if you are of the sensitive variety, perhaps skip this one. Otherwise, everybody else, it's reality. This is the world in which we live when we raise pets. Honest tales. Before we begin, Happy New Year. This is officially the first episode of season 2. Woohoo! Unofficially the second, because I did record another podcast and it was so fucking boring and it sucked royally, so I'm trashing it. I'll just redo it later. I was giving a recap of my travel with Moxie, and it was just I damn near fell asleep listening to it myself. So I said, fuck it. Nope, not going to do it. So I'm instead going to talk about gross stuff again, because that's just funner. That's just, fun. But thank you, everybody, as we roll into 2023. Thank you so much for my 5 listeners and watchers who are out there supporting me, my fans. Really appreciate it. I really want to do better. I know I've had some snoozer episodes, a few good ones too, but I just want to do better. I want to have some good guests on, just right down to earth people that are funny and fun and love to talk about their pets. I know so many of you. I just have to reach out and get you on here. I've got so many things that I want to do in 2023. I don't really do goals. I don't do resolutions. I do goals, but that's like a work thing. I don't really do resolutions, but I do think about what I'm going to do differently in 2023. So, yeah, we'll see where it goes. This is one of my big top things for 2023, as well as doing some more writing. So we'll see where that goes. Anyway, let's start off with our honest tale about the good, the bad, and the oh my fucking god, she got me again. So, Miss Moxie, if you've listened to some of my previous episodes, you'll know that she has a tendency to, on our walks, to gravitate towards the undead. So she either because we've passed them before or because she just smells them, and she's got a dog's sense of smell, but she tries to trick me into going down a street where there is a known fresh roadkill. This has happened countless numbers of times. I mean, she has pulled them out of big piles of leaves. She has sniffed them out of the corner of a curb. She knows what road they're on. If we pass it once, she'll take me that way. And I usually know if she wants to go a different way than we normally go, that there's something up. Probably it's going to involve innards and guts of a dead animal. So we've experienced dead birds. It was a dead turkey buzzard a couple weeks ago. Oh, that's fun. Those are disgusting, disgusting birds. Fascinating birds, but just ugly as shit when they're alive. Really ugly when they're dead. Squirrels, a lot of squirrels. Bunnies. Sorry, bunny. We have a bunny in our backyard. We call him Jeff. That's Jeff spelled Geoff. Jeff. What else? Oh, voles. Lots of voles, moles. You name it. We've encountered it. Sometimes I get a little complacent when we're out, and I should know better. I did a whole episode on the gross things that my dog puts in her mouth. But I forget. It's like pregnancy. You just forget the misery. And I guess it's like pregnancy. I've never had a child, so I wouldn't know. But you just get complacent, right? And this situation also involves me violating one of my top 10 dog walking pet peeves. So Moxie and I were on our walk the other day, and it was dark. We went from single digit Fahrenheit temperatures to almost summer like weather here in early January. So when it's warm like that, I don't mind walking in the dark in the morning. Sunrise is around 7:30 here in Eastern time zone right now in very early January. And sometimes we just get up early. We were refreshed and got our day started. So Moxie and I got out before the sun started to rise, and I had the old headlamp. I'm lit up like a fucking airport with my husband got me a lovely reflective light up vest suspender system. It's just amazing. If you're a dorky dog mom, you get what I'm talking about. So I'm lit up, got the the headlamp on, and we're walking up our normal street. It's dark, and I made the mistake of violating one of my top 10 dog walking pet peeves, and that is people who play on their phones while they're walking. Now, I wasn't really playing, but I don't normally get on my phone while I'm walking. I'll have a conversation, like a phone conversation, using my earbuds, but I don't normally have my phone out actually looking at it. But in this case, I had started a new Facebook group. I had joined a new Facebook group that was going to the owner was going to put out some new material starting on that day. And I was rather excited. So I just very quickly, this is a 30-second transaction. I pulled out my phone, unlocked it, went to Facebook, looked up the group, nothing there, boom, shut it down. I look down because now Moxie is pulling me back towards the house. Why? If I were not in my glory years, I probably would recognize these very, very obvious signals that I've learned over the last 10 months with Moxie. That is, when she decides to pull towards home, there's something amiss. Usually it means there's something in her mouth. I've missed this many times. Because she's just like a chipmunk. She puts the fucking rotten apples, acorns, leaves, branches, whatever, rocks in her mouth, and like a chipmunk in her cheek, and it's hard to tell. But on this particular occasion, it was quite obvious what was compelling her to go back home. When she has the prize, she wants to go back home so she can enjoy the prize in the front yard. And in this case, on this day, several days ago, the prize was an entire fucking dead squirrel. Thankfully, not for the squirrel, but thankfully for us, it appeared that it had died from some sort of blunt force trauma. It was not bleeding. The normal roadkill that I try to steer her clear of is like the guts all over the road. This was a fully intact squirrel, head to toe, no blood, just looked like a taxidermy squirrel. It was mostly rigid, a little, I mean, not floppy, but not like, stiff as a board. So probably had been a fairly recent death. And also, since it wasn't bloody, it hadn't been run over by cars or anything in the dark. I don't know where she got it. There were several piles of leaves in the vicinity. I don't know how she got it without me noticing. Speed of light, just snatched that fucker up and just looked at me like, you ain't getting this, mama. It's mine, and we are going back home. So she's pulling me back towards the house. So we're in reverse of the way that we came. I had my gloves with me, even though it was pretty warm. Thank baby Jesus, I had brought my gloves with me. So I pulled them out of my pocket, put them on. But Unlike other times when she's had something a little bit smaller in her mouth, I couldn't even get to her teeth. Her fucking jaws are clamped like a goddamn pit bull. Like it's locked, right? And when she's got something smaller in her mouth and I can get to her teeth, I can kind of whittle my fingers in there and pry her mouth open. It takes a lot of effort. She is clamped down. But in this case, with the fully intact taxidermy squirrel, oh no, I couldn't even get to the mouth. And this was like the ultimate top of the pyramid prize. The full dead animal. She wasn't letting go. So if this was a training session, right? So she trained in board and train with an e-collar. If I'd had my e-collar, I probably could have gotten her to drop it. Didn't have my e-collar. Don't take it everywhere. It's really just a training thing that I use every once in a while. So I'm just there with me and the prong collar. Prong collar doesn't in shit. Prong collar is a wonderful, effective tool. It doesn't do shit when your dog is clamped down on its number one for special, the precious, fully intact dead squirrel. She's got it in her mouth. It's like literally, because it's so rigid, it's just kind of sideways and the tail's sort of sticking out. Thank goodness it was dark, because it would have been quite embarrassing for someone to see me just let my dog take it with her, but I didn't really have a choice. So we went back home. So I figured we weren't that far from my house. So I thought, okay, if I can make it there in the dark, no one will see me, then we'll be in the front lawn, and eventually she'll get tired of it, or she'll have to go pee or something, and I can go snatch it. And here's the thing, folks. I honestly don't have a problem. I don't find it disgusting or gross that my dog wants to take home a dead animal. I don't necessarily want to handle it myself, but this is just instinctive behavior to a dog. This is why I'll let her sometimes smell the remnants, the residue, not actual physical three-dimensional innards, but after it's been cleaned up, but we know that there's been a dead squirrel or something, I'll let her smell it. It's just dog instinct. I don't have a problem with it. I had a dog who had a high prey drive, and he would actually kill the animals himself, and they were very bloody. This is like nothing compared to that. So, you know what? I spared somebody the hassle of having to clean up roadkill from in front of their house. Not that they would do it anyway. But you're welcome, folks, neighbors. So I let her take it home. Fortunately, we did not pass anybody. No headlights. Although my neighbor 2 doors down was in their car with the car started as we were passing by. So I'm hoping that they didn't have or weren't looking out their rear view camera. Anyway, so we got to our house, and as predicted, she beelined to the middle of the front yard. It's still mostly dark. So I just sit on my little chair that I have on our front stoop and just wait for my opportunity to come and grab said squirrel. And that opportunity never came, because she proceeded to eat the thing 100%, almost 100%, probably 80% in about 15 minutes. Now, I will admit, I'm not ashamed. This is honest tales of the good, bad, and the ugly of raising dogs. I'm not ashamed to admit that I was probably distracted, because I was on my phone, probably posting a clip of my last My Favorite Bitch video or podcast on TikTok or Instagram. I don't know what the fuck I was doing. Sometimes I'm doing a Wordle. Maybe I was doing a Wordle or a Statel. Maybe I was playing another word game. Maybe I was looking at my Facebook. I don't know. I'm just saying about 15 or 20 minutes may have passed. And then I looked up and saw that the squirrel was gone. Almost completely. I could see the tail was still there. You know, it's fuzzy. It's not really tasty. I wouldn't eat it either. And but that was pretty much it. Now, it did shock me a bit that she consumed almost an entire squirrel in about 20 minutes. But I have seen cats put away entire squirrels or chipmunks. And I've seen how Moxie goes through a bone, or a bully stick. So, food motivated, it's the for special, my precious, top of the pyramid. Okay. Within a couple of seconds after me, I'm looking up, I've noticed that she's finished. She starts to retch, starts to vomit. And she puked out. I don't know how this thing could actually fit in her throat, but all I can describe it as, again, this is going to be gross. So if you're sensitive, just shut me off right now. I'm not offended. I'm not offended at all. I can only describe what came out of her throat, her stomach, her mouth onto the grass as two, maybe 4 or 5 inch long, soft sausages. That's what it looked like to me from the distance. What it actually was I believe the most of the squirrel turned inside out. I believe that she had consumed it, and then what I was seeing was because it kind of looked like a sausage casing with stuff underneath. I think that was just sort of like a membrane, because I think the fur part was fully underneath it. And so I took that as my opportunity I had bags ready to grab the remains that she had puked up, walked over to where the original squirrel had been consumed, and I could see there was a hand and the tail and just a little bit of the insides of it left. So I bagged those up, quadruple bagged them, and threw them away. And so I did end up, yay me. I did get my squirrel. I did get it out of her, quote, hands. It just went through her stomach first. So there you go. But here's the clincher for this story. That's just embarrassing for me as a dog mom. Not only did she fool me in the context of her own behavior, I should know this. I should know that I need to watch her. I should know that I shouldn't violate my own pet peeve and look at my phone. I need to pay attention. It's dark, and when it's dark, she will go after things that I'm not seeing because they're not in the line of my headlamp. Not only is it embarrassing in that respect because she has fooled me so many times, it's embarrassing because my last dog, Sammy, the one that I referred to that had a high prey drive, who killed squirrels, did the fucking exact same thing on a walk maybe 6 or 7 years ago. We were out walking. I had a lab, and then Sammy was a pit bull shepherd, very high prey drive. And we're walking along in a similar neighborhood. We were in a rental, but a similar neighborhood, no sidewalks, low speed, in the dark with the headlamp, same exact, it was like deja fucking vu. And we're walking, and as soon as I see that there is a dead squirrel sitting next to a mailbox, again, same situation, no blood, just blunt force trauma. Almost as soon as I see it, without even skipping a step, Sammy reaches down, grabs it, and keeps walking on the leash. And when I stopped, he kind of turned to me, and it was exactly the same position as was in Moxie's mouth. It was, he was holding it like mid stomach, and it was so rigid enough that it was sort of horizontal to the ground. So I've already been through this. I already have experience with a dog who's taken a squirrel from the side of the fucking road. I guess, thank baby Jesus, in most cases, or in both cases, the squirrel was not bloody. But still, how embarrassing is it that I've already been through this? I should know better. I should know better from my previous experience, and I should know better from my current fucking dog who fools me every fucking time. This is a high fuck episode, I'm sorry to say. So no harm, no foul. She's fine. She didn't get sick. Dog stomachs, believe it or not, are pretty robust. They can eat shit that we don't eat. Gross as it is, I mean, why should we feel like it's gross that my dog picked up a recently deceased squirrel? My dog eats deer shit. Okay. She eats fucking deer pellets. All right. She, um, she noses in squirrel shit. She rubs her face in squirrel shit. So why should it be surprising that she wants to consume a fucking dead squirrel? So yeah, that's the kind of dog mom I am. I'm not gonna panic about it. I'm not gonna freak out about it. Maybe I'm gonna look at my phone for a little too long and she's gonna eat it and I won't be aware. Maybe something like that happens. I don't know. But I'm not gonna beat myself up for it, and nor should you. It's not the first animal she's eaten, by the way. There was a vole. There was a vole that I tried to get out of her mouth, and she knew I was coming, and voles are small, so she gulped it down, basically swallowed it whole because she knew I was coming after it. So at least this one I got maybe it wasn't ideal that it was after she ate it, but I still got it. So fuck you, Moxie. You know what? Point mommy. Point dog mom. Boom. All right, folks. Well, that's my tale. That's my tale of Moxie. I love talking about gross stuff and shit and stuff like that. So if you have any great tales that you have about your dog getting into gross stuff, let me know. What is the grossest thing? What is the grossest thing your dog has ever put in its mouth that you've had to try and take out? And were you successful? Be honest. I really want to know. I really fascinates me, the kind of stuff that dogs put in their mouths. I want to know. So let me know. Put it in a comment on this clip or send me, a message in Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, the Bean67. I am out there, TheBeann 67, or I'm also on LinkedIn, although I don't really post a lot of shit like this on LinkedIn, but I'm still there. I'm still a working woman. All right, folks, I've enjoyed this first episode telling you how Moxie basically totally tricked her dumbass mom. And looking forward to more episodes in 2023. Again, thank you so much for your listening, watching, and support and your comments. I so appreciate it. Now go take a walk, but watch your dog. Make sure he or she does not pick up any roadkill. And then when you're done, take a nice nap in a warm, sunny spot, or go play some fetch and take it easy. Thank you for joining My Favorite Bitch, where we don't hold back about what it's like to raise that little fucker of a pet. We hope you had fun. I'm your host, Beth Ann Campbell, and you can reach me on Instagram or Facebook as TheBean67. That's TheBeann 67. And also on Instagram as Moxie Blue Yule. That's my dog's site, she insisted. I'm also on LinkedIn as Beth Ann Campbell, that's Ann with an E, and check out my YouTube channel, Beth Ann Campbell, where you can find this podcast and other fun videos on the playlist My Favorite Bitch. Remember, we are not trained dog professionals in any way, so please consult the real experts and do your research on anything you hear on this program. We barely know what we're doing. Now go give your pet some snuggles, and we'll catch you after a good nap and some tasty treats. My Favorite Bitch is produced by Beth Ann Campbell and is a product of Beth Ann Campbell, LLC, all rights reserved. Go fetch, Moxie! Good girl!